Think you need hours to launch a killer search campaign in Google Ads? What if I told you that in 20 minutes or less, you can go from 0 to live and use a simple ad rotation tweak to uncover your top performing ads and assets? Stick around to the end because I'll show you exactly how to do it. So here we are back over at my screen now and using my test Google Ads store for my test site, cheapcampinggear.net. First thing you need to do to set up a search campaign is either come to this plus button on the left where it says create, or you can use the blue plus button down here where it says create campaign. We'll just click that one for now. You can see here we've got new campaign, resume draft campaign, or load campaign settings, or over here under the create, we can click this and we got campaign, ad group, and so on. We'll click new campaign. First thing that pops up is what is your campaign objectives? So if you have an e-commerce store, you might be wanting to get sales. If you've got a lead generation site where you're trying to get leads to get business for traditional style, for businesses that involve converting leads into customers later on, for services, for example, you select leads. You may be wanting to just send web traffic to your site. That's one way of doing it. Got app promotions, which is a different kettle of fish. Awareness and consideration. So this is a very broad type of campaign in order to be able to get your branding awareness and exposure. If you're launching a new brand, for example, it can be quite effective. It can be cheap. Also got local store visits and promotions, and you can also start a campaign without any particular guidance. So for example, you might want to start it like that and come back and add in your objectives later. Some PPC managers actually use this as a way to not skew Google's algorithm, so they can just get raw data through for their campaigns. But for us, we'll start with sales. We'll select that. Now always select a conversion goal. In one of my previous videos up here, you'll see where you can set up your conversion goals, and we've set them up for purchase for this particular store being the account level goal. Select continue. Okay, and then we come to the campaign type. Now we've got 6 different campaigns for now. We're going to be choosing search in this particular video, and in one of my future videos, and I'll post it up here, there's going to be a new type of search campaign called Search Max. It's only just been announced by Google, so watch this space. We'll select this one for now. Ways you want to reach your goal. Do you want to do it through website visits, phone calls, store visits? Phone calls I'll cover in a later video, but for now we're going to stick with websites because when we don't have a traditional store where we're looking for foot traffic, we want people to be coming to our site. Select that. Put in the URL for your next, just drop in the business's website like so, and then click continue. Campaign name. It's always important to give your campaigns a good naming convention because you want to know what's going on behind that particular campaign. Just don't leave it as the standard like this. It can be just too messy, too confusing. I would call this one possibly, usually I give it a naming convention saying it's LP for my agency, and then I would give it a divider and write US, because if that's, for example, the country I'm going to be targeting, and then this is not a branded campaign, it's going to be a non-brand campaign, so I'll just call it non-brand. Now there's more you can be adding to this, but at the very least at this level, just give it enough so you know what you're exactly targeting. Select continue. Okay, bidding. Now what do you want to focus on? Are you focusing on conversions themselves, or are you focusing on conversion value? And there's other optimizations there you can be focusing on, like clicks. For example, you might be doing that if the account's fresh or new, or you just want to get some traffic coming in quickly. You might want to just focus on clicks, cheap clicks. And there's impression share. That's a completely different ball game. It's usually not anything I would recommend. You might want to test this out for brand, but if you're looking at broad match keywords, which I'll cover off a little bit later, using impression share would be the worst decision ever in terms of using this for smart bidding. So as this is an e-commerce store, I would be focusing on conversion value. However, I'll just run through each one of these so you understand what's going on. So if you've got a lead generation site and you want to focus on conversions, you've got the option to be able to set what we call a target cost per acquisition, or target CPA, which is optional. If you don't choose this, it will be technically a maximized conversions smart bidding strategy, which if you leave it like this is pretty dangerous. I've been through this before in my previous video, which you can see here. The reason why I feel it's dangerous is because you can blow out your cost per clicks initially. And if there's a lot of competition in your space, Google's just going to keep bidding harder and harder and harder. If you have a large budget, and you can just blow up your account. So you usually want to be able to select this with a target CPA anyway. So you might say $10 or $15, depending what you're wanting to cover that. Now, Google may not be able to get this target CPA initially. It has to have a few conversions in the account to be able to make this work. This is one and the same with conversion value, which I'll show you in a moment. But you can see if you hover over this, this just helps Google understand what you're wanting to pay for a conversion, because then their smart bidding and the algorithm are going to try and tailor the cost per click and put your ads in front of the right people who are going to actually eventually convert if you have a good offer. So you quickly come to conversion value. Again, you can see here, this will be maximized conversion value if you did not set a target return on ad spend, which we will select. And even if I was to select a target ROAS or return on ad spend, you can read through here if you hover over this. As you can see here, for example, if you were to spend $1 and you're looking for a ROAS of $500, 100%, you're looking at for at least $5 per sale from every $1 spent. So that's essentially how it works. And so we put in a value, we'll just start with 200%, but I want you to take a note of this little yellow box that's popped up because this account hasn't been running for quite some time. There's been no recent conversions in the account. So it does give a warning before setting the target ROAS. It's good to wait up until the conversion tracker has received at least 15 conversions in the last 30 days. I would actually take that further and say at least 50 conversions, 50, because then it's got something to be able to work with. Have some signals, it will know the audience and it will know where to show ads and where not to when it uses smart bidding. But right now, I'm just gonna leave that on. Again, I'll just run through quickly on clicks. So you can select focus on clicks. You can put a maximum cost per click bid limit. So you might only wanna put in 50 cents or something. So you're not blowing it out completely. If you leave that off, watch out. That's all I got to say. And then you got impression share. And this again, because I don't recommend it, there's no point me actually showing you how to use this. I would only recommend this for experienced PPC managers. And coming back here, 200%. Okay, so customer acquisition. So you can adjust bids to help you gain new customers. Now I'm a bit skeptical on this. How do they really know what new customers are? There is only one way they can really know, and that's if you've got some data in the background. You've been using enhanced conversions, so that hash data is being uploaded into the back end of Google Ads, because you can bid higher for new customers, and then you would have to go and define a list. So the only way you define a list is that you might want to use a particular list you've used in the past, all right? Or you come into your audience manager and you would find what that is. So you might want to have like purchases. Here, you don't want to obviously run ads to existing purchases, or you've got an email list, you can upload that into the audiences manager here, which I've shown in a separate video. And then you've got some other things here like incremental conversion value, what you're willing to increase. The amount increases conversions for a new customer over an existing customer. So like you can tell it you want to bid more. You're willing to pay more for a new customer because you might want to retarget them later or sell products to them in email marketing or et cetera, et cetera. Again, you can segment further with a different type of lists. For here, again, new customers, higher value that you might want to bid higher again. You can go down that path. And then you've got this lapsed customers and high value customers. And this is only supported by Performance Max campaign, which I can show you in a separate video. Anyway, we'll just leave that for now. I'll cancel that. You can only bid for new customers as well. You have to upload a customer list into the audience manager I just mentioned. I'm just going to leave that unchecked. Just wanted to go through that really quickly so you get an understanding. You can learn more about that here. So let's click next to move on to campaign settings. Now within networks, we have 3 choices that you can choose from. You can choose purely Google search campaigns only. You can also add search partners, as you can see here, or you can also add the Google display network. And of course, Google recommends selecting both of them. But if you're going to select these options, where will your ads be shown? So it's good that we cover this off real quick. So if we were to select this link here, it says where search ads are shown. So under here where it says search ads can appear on Google search sites. So that's anything to do with like the Google search, and that would be shopping tab, Google Images, Maps, and the Maps app. And then you got Google Search Partners. So this means it can include hundreds of non-websites. You have to ask yourself a question, do you want to show up there? Park domains, which is pretty much useless, but now you can uncheck that in the settings within Google, as well as YouTube and Google sites. So YouTube might be helpful and other Google sites, but these ones here, I don't like the idea it's going to say hundreds. So all I say is that if you're going to check that, test it, see if it's working for you. And if not, just you can uncheck it later. And again, for Google Display Network, you can appear across relevant sites, videos, apps, or even YouTube, which again could be helpful, but you need to test these things. I personally like to separate the display network out from the search network because I want to have more control. Next, locations. This is very important to get right. Why this is very important is because it's not only about selecting the countries or territories. You can get very specific. You can get down to the county, postcode, region. You can even set up a pin marker with a radius in certain areas. So I'll quickly show you that. Let's just say we're going to pick Australia, where I'm from, and we can select include Australia. You can also exclude it, and you can say select nearby. So if I was just quickly to select nearby, you can see here now all the different states are showing up for Australia. My home state here, if I was going to select that, I could select that and choose that if I want. But for now, I will just close that. I'll put in the United States, and you can include that like so. Again, if you want, you can actually go advanced search here, where we've got locations and radiuses. So we can actually select, you can do add bulk locations as well. You can copy and paste all the postcodes, for example, that you might be wanting to target. If you've got radius, let's just select Mexico City, CDMX. Now it's probably a good idea to select what you want here first. Go 50 miles. I think that might be able to do. You can go kilometers as well. I'm not sure what the maximum you can go is here, but we'll just select that. So it's going 50 kilometers here. We can actually see what happens when we go go to 100. Okay, you can keep going. Let's try. I'll just hit the edit button here as well and go maybe 200. See what it does. Okay, you can keep going and going and going. And there's no limitation there from what I can see. You can obviously, you've got kilometers and mile radiuses there. So just leave that in for now. Click save. Really important under location options. These two here, it's good to learn about these and what these mean. I'll let you take your own liberty to read through that at your own time. But here where I'll just give you a quick rundown on presence or interest. So people regularly in or who've shown interest in your area or in that location is recommended. Now, I do not recommend that because you could have someone who's looking something in Mexico City, for example, look in the area. It's only good if you're like traveling to that area and people wanting to buy something from there. It's the only time I'll recommend this. But for example, like I'm looking at the whole United States. I only want to target people within the United States to find my products, for example. I don't want someone from Canada, if I'm not targeting them, who are interested in products in the United States to come and buy it, for example, because there might be some problems with me shipping into Canada for whatever reason, tariffs, for example. So they've got presence. So people in or regularly in those locations. So someone from Canada is crossing the border a lot into the USA, that makes sense, okay, get that part. But anyone who's just not regularly in there, of course. So I would select this as a must. Languages. Now, depending on the country you're wanting to target, like obviously I had US and Mexico, maybe I want to do English and Spanish. Another thing you can do is actually just remove the languages altogether and target all languages because many languages are spoken within the US, for example. And depending on the browser settings, what language those users have set is what the naturally is going to come up in their browsers. So that's why I say all languages. So we can show our ads even in English to people who don't speak English. Okay, audience segmentation. This is interesting. What you can do here is you can actually go and select different audiences and you can browse. It's already popped up with a few that are based on advertisers like us. So we can say camping gear, outdoor enthusiasts, recreation, go campers and RVs if you want. If that's the kind of audiences you want to target, you can browse, you can search, you can find out more, you can go down the rabbit hole on that. But coming down to targeting, this is really important. Okay, so we have targeting where we can narrow down to those audiences only. Okay, now the only reason you would do that is if you've got data that it makes sense to target them only, because you're going to really make your search campaigns extremely narrow. So I start off with observations only, so recommended, and then I can collect this data and I can take a look at this in audiences later on once the campaign has started, and then I can go, okay, people in camping and that they're actually getting a really good ROI or whatnot, and so I want to specifically target them, and then I might create a separate campaign in whatever campaign type to give it a go and see how I go with performance on that particular campaign. Broad match keywords. So now this is the big push from Google at the moment. Broad match keywords work well with smart bidding. Yes, of course they do. Now they can work really well, but if you don't know what you're doing, you can just completely blow it up. And this is what I'll say at this point, if you're looking at going down this path of using a smart bidding strategies with broad match, it's better to have a PPC manager. Like if you do want help with this, look in the link in the description or in the first comment below that's pinned, and reach out to me and I'll be happy to see what I can do to help you out. But coming back to this real quick, you'll be able to see here that you can use it on, all right, and that means that all the keywords in the entire campaign is going to be broad match. Again, use with caution because you need to be adding what's called negative keywords quite frequently in order so you're not wasting money. But for now, we'll just turn that off because I may want to use not just broad match, but also exact match and phrase match. Automatically create assets. Again, if you want to leave it up to the Google gods to take control of your search campaign, be my guest. But at the end of the day, this may get better and they do come up with some good assets every now and then, but not always. Like I would leave this on if you are missing things out, like you might need some site leak extensions and etc., which I've covered off in previous videos. But now, like I would actually just prefer, I'll take care of it myself. Thank you very much. Let's quickly come to more settings. Okay, so under ad rotation, it says optimize prefer best performing ad. So that's all well and good if you've got like several ads or 3 ads, which I'll come to later. But if we're going to be running more ads, and stick around because I show you my little strategy, I will definitely say do not ads and rotate these ads indefinitely because I want to see which ads perform better. Just drop down on the more settings again, so you can put a start and end date if you need to. You can add in an ad schedule. You can see here I've talked about ad scheduling in a previous video. You can set them up however you like, even different times of the day, whichever works best. We also have a few other things like brand here. If you've set up a branded campaign before, you can exclude your own brand. You can add in a brand list like so. Because this is a non-brand campaign, I do want to exclude my brand name, so I will add that in. And this is something I created before. You can also find one here if necessary. And these ones here aren't really necessary in terms of like this campaign option, unless you're looking at wanting to do tracking for a CRM, where you need to add in UTM so you get a little bit more granular for your Google Analytics or whatever analytics tool you're using, then go ahead and add in some tracking templates and whatnot from in here. Let's click next. Keyword and asset generation. So this is a beta version of the AI now being baked into Google Ads. You can go ahead and create all the assets like this, where you put in the cheapcampinggear.net. If we're going to be running to the home page, you might want to have a product page or a category page, collections page. You might want to drop that URL in here, and then it's come up with a description of what's pulled out from my home page from what it is. It's all automated mode, but like just for fun, let's just play with it and see what happens. You can go straight to keywords and ads if you wanted to do that on your own, but let's select generate. Under the keywords and ads that it's popped up with, it's just got a few things here in terms of ad products and services, like cheap camping gear or camping gear and camping gear equipment. It's only got one keyword at the moment, which I think is a bit lackluster if this is all it's pulled from. It's got some predictions here in terms of what you're to expect for your performance, but obviously that's quite low. We can pull that out a bit further now to see what that looks like. Drop that away. Ad strength is pretty low, at the moment, even though that it's dropped in for everything you need. Shop online, it's okay. But I think more can be done here. Like best prices, I probably wouldn't drop that in a headline personally. I would say this is maybe 50% okay, maybe even less. So what I'll leave this one in as a test. And again, a couple other things that you want to just double check. Obviously the final URL path, the display path, you can actually state here, like for example, if I was doing tents and like on sale, you could write that. That's an idea, but I'll just remove that out because this is just to the home page, for example. And then as we scroll down, we see the descriptions that it's coming with. You can use exclamations and some symbols within descriptions. So it's added a couple here, one-stop shop. Some of these are okay. It's fine probably for this, but again, this is a very generic non-brand campaign. I'll probably look at adding more in because we have actually up to 90 characters, and I highly recommend you add in the full 90 characters within your descriptions and do what you can for the whole 30 characters. Another option you do have is to be able to pin these. You can actually pin these to what position you want to see your headlines pop up within any given ad auction. For example, if you are using your brand name in non-brand search campaigns, you may want to select like position 1, and you can see here how it's pinned. You can easily unpin that as well. And same goes for descriptions. You might have one description you want to show over the other, and you got positions 1 and 2 there. But again, Google recommends not to do that. Okay, business name, just drop that in real quick. You might have a business logo. It's important to fill out all these assets. Highly recommend doing that. So we just got that one logo there. This is an icon that will show up in search campaigns on the right next to your brand name. Important to have your site links in there as well. These ones are created previously. Now you might want something specific in there. Make sure you do a good job filling that out. In addition, with descriptions too, you want to make sure you have descriptions 1 and 2 filled out, but for the sake of time, I'll leave that for today. It means you'll just take up more real estate if you do come up in position 1. You can add more asset types to this as well. Promotions, which is important. You might be having a 10% off sale. You might want to say 10% off promotion, use this code at checkout. You can also add prices, calls, call outs. I got account level call outs, structured snippets, etc., for all those different types of assets that you want to add into here. It helps you get a better ad strength, and I highly recommend doing it as well. It does work. Before I move on, as you can see here, the chat beta is in here. You can actually go through and start working on, generate more headlines here as well if you wanted to. If you want to add more in here, you just need to remove out, and you can add plus to add them in if you wish. Something new to play around in. It is in beta version, but again, this is going to become more prominent in time. You can even add all the images that you want if you want to do image extensions. This is important too if like you have an image pop up on the right hand side of your search ad too. So it's good to fill out all these things, increases CTR. But let's click next to keep moving on. Okay, budget. So what are you wanting to spend per day? You can start with $100 a day, or you can start with $10 a day. Completely up to you, but you want to start getting data in. You have to understand that search campaigns and ads do cost more for clicks because there's less spacing within the auction. It all depends. If you're the only person in that auction, naturally the click is going to be a lot less, but generally that's not the case. And it depends on what industry or niche you're in, is all going to depend on how much you're going to pay per click. But give yourself a slightly generous budget just to get that data coming so you can actually pivot and improve your search campaigns and any campaigns for that matter. So today I'm just going to for demonstration purposes, just put $50 and then select next. So now I have to confirm this. I have to do this probably through my YouTube app. So that's all been approved. Our campaign is ready to publish. So let's quickly review what's going on here before we click the publish campaign. We have a campaign name with the proper naming conventions. Search campaign objective is sales. Purchases, the bidding strategies that we're looking at. We're bidding equally between new and existing customers. Search network, the locations, all languages, audiences that we're observing. Broad match is off. Now we've turned off automatically creating assets. Ad rotation is rotating indefinitely for now. One excluding brand list. One keyword for now, but there's definitely more that we need to add in for that. And we can select publish. Okay, so that is now ready to go. That is going to go through a process of the campaign is published. Impressions will be coming soon. Sometimes there's a review process that might be involved too, but it can take up to 48 hours to start seeing impressions come in for a search campaign. And if you've got everything going well, you should start seeing some conversions with conversion value. And that's pretty much it. But there's still that one thing that I need to mention when it comes to ad rotations and what we do slightly differently. So if we come back into this campaign again, we can either scroll down to the right and come to all ads, or I can just come into ads here for this particular campaign. Just make sure you have that campaign selected. You can even go as far as the actual ad group. Good to give that a proper name as well. And here, what we do is we add in a second ad. So we're going to add another responsive search ad. Why is it responsive search ad? Is because we add up to 15 headlines within a responsive search ad and 4 descriptions. And Google will pick 3 headlines and in any given time and 2 descriptions at any given moment as well whenever there's an ad auction, for whenever you enter into an ad auction and someone is searching for you. And as I scroll down, we can see here that they've already pre-filled this out again, which I don't like. I'm just going to delete a few of these out because I think some of them are really terrible. Like for example, trusted and secure payments, that goes without saying. It will even come up with some suggestions based on the website and existing ads. We can pick that if we want. Get the best deals, best camping essentials, view our inventory online. I don't like that one at all. Shop with confidence, I think that's woeful. Online support, that's bad. Camping tools. There's just way better headlines and ad copy that we can come up with when it comes to and that's what we do differently within our agency. We don't rely at this stage, and I don't think we'll ever rely on it until it gets really, really good. I just deleted a few of these out so we can just use the chat and see what it comes up with, like improve the headlines for this RSA ad. Okay, there's a couple here that I like. I can select shop affordable camping gear at lowest prices. It says we offer free shipping, but I would actually write that a bit better if that was me. Now it's important to, now how many here? We've still got another 4 headlines to fill in. Give some more suggestions. Best deals on camping gear, we could add that. Shop camping gear online, add some more CTAs. Buy cheap camping gear. We're not renting, that's terrible. Get the best deals today. Now you can't add exclamations in here like this. That'll get disapproved instantly, so we have to remove that out. You can use some symbols, just not anything that's going to be sensationalized. So you could write here, get the number one best deals today, which is an alternative to get better click-through rate. Now they've got those. Make sure we've got our site links, business logo, business name, and all the other assets we could be adding in there as well. Let's save ad. And there we go. We've got 2 ads now. You can even add a 3rd if necessary, depending on how much volume you've got coming into your search campaign. But we can rotate through these evenly now. This is a little optimization thing I like to do. Instead of allowing Google to optimize for the best performing ad, let's let them rotate evenly. Let's get all the data in and determine for ourselves which ad is performing better. And we pause that ad, create a new ad, complete new headlines or something similar, a bit different, and find out which are the best performing assets to be able to pull into one complete responsive search ad, which will get the best performance for you. And that's pretty much it when it comes to creating responsive search ad campaigns in Google Ads. Now, if you have any thoughts on this, please leave a comment below. If you need help, reach out to me in the link in the description or the first pinned comment below. I would love to hear from you and see what I can do to help you out. But other than that, thanks for watching today's video. Like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.